From the very first line to the final frame, Thunderbolts didn't just entertain me. It provided a bit of emotional healing. In fact, it reminded me of Guardians of the Galaxy in its ability to bring together an unlikely ensemble while tackling a topic with depth, similar to what Guardians 3 did for the pain being carried by Rocket Raccoon. Though if I'm making comparisons, Thunderbolts does for depression what Inside Out did for sadness and Inside Out 2 did for anxiety, as Disney managed in this film to create a masterclass on how to rise above what it calls the void. And while it's revealed that every member of the Thunderbolts team struggles with the void, each in their own way, it's Bob, the vulnerable, unassuming, and often overlooked one, who we see coming to terms with it the most. In fact, throughout this film, Bob delivers a reoccurring line every time something goes wrong. I think everyone would just be better off without me. Better off without you? To be clear, this is not something a person typically begins to think about themselves without some outside influence at some point in their life, which proves to be true for Bob, but more importantly, it's true for us, isn't it? The lies we tend to believe about ourselves, all the limitations we put on ourselves over time, they came from somewhere and typically can be traced back to someone. The unfortunate part of all this, of course, is that the words stick long after the influence is gone. And yes, that is when their words become our words, a form of self-talk where we find ourselves stuck in a void that is, by all accounts, very difficult to find your way through. But a bit of encouragement, it is possible, though not in the way we typically think, because despite our desires, healing rarely happens in some grand cinematic moment. It's often quiet. Sometimes it's one honest conversation, one act of kindness, one person who sees you when you're trying not to be seen, or when you see another person when they are not trying to be seen. In either case, this film does a beautiful job of illustrating the point. And if you're wondering what that looks like, well, I'll not spoil it for you other than to say, watch Inside Out. Or as my wife said as we walked out of the theater this past week, turns out all he needed was a hug. Don't we all, ladies and gentlemen? Don't we all? This has been Movie Moments with Ryan May.